closest to the feeling you're trying to create. And you make your best guess. And one of the things on these projects, you guys, is I'm just asking for your best guess. It's never going to be perfect. And I'm still at this stage in my career guessing. I make my best guess about the feeling I want to create and the look I'm going for, and I try to choose a color swatch that I think might help create that. So I'll go through my 20 to 50 shades of blue and I'll go, I think this one's going to do it. But you kind of have to sit there and think about it and go through those shades and pick one that makes you feel the blue that's maybe not chilling, it's not, calming, but maybe it's more romantic. And you have to make those choices, and those colors can really help you feel a certain way. All right. Then we're going to get into direction or distribution of lighting. All right. So our very basic directions of lighting, which we'll talk about especially as we start using our little rep plot, are side light, backlight, uplight, top light, and front light. So we talked a little bit about the first one for dance, right? We talked about side light. If I'm the dancer, side light would be to either side of me. So for our rep plot purposes, all the lights are up on the grid. My side light, if I'm the dancer, is going to be probably that light right there. And my other side light is going to be over there. Those are my side lights. They're basically exactly what they sound like. Backlight. If I'm your actor or your dancer, where would backlight be in reference to me? Yeah, it's going to be upstage. So it's probably going to be directly behind me, and that will be my backlight. How about uplight? No, that would be a top light or a down light. When I say uplight, I'm thinking like footlights. We talked a little bit about footlights and how those can kind of come up from below. So uplight is the idea that we've got something below coming up. Like I've either got a flashlight below my chin would be an uplight. If I've got a cutout in the deck and I've got lights below the stage floor that are shining up, those are uplights. Or if I'm using a footlight, those are, if I'm really close to the footlights, those are uplights. But they can be a little more frontal if I'm far back from them. But those are all technically uplights. They're shining up from below. All right. Now top light, or this also gets called downlight. I might interchange those words depending on what designer you're working with. They might call it top light, they might call it downlight. But that's the basic idea that you guys were talking about before. It's from right up above. 5 minutes left. All right. Front light would be to the front of me, right? Front light is the primary face illuminator. One of the things we'll talk about a little bit later in this course is kind of the ideal McCandless theory of lighting. But the idea is that you want to light the eyes so the audience can see them, because the better you can see the face, the better you can see the expression, the better you get the idea, the mood of what's going on. So ideally what we want for most pieces, unless we're choosing again to depart from that idea, is we want to see those eyes. We want to see the mouth. We want to see the facial gestures so that we understand the emotion of the scene. And front light is usually the biggest help with that kind of thing. Now, these all can get combined into diagonals as well. I could have a front light, but I could have a front diagonal. I could have a front diagonal over there. I could have a backlight that's a back diagonal. So all of these also have sort of diagonal equivalents. And you guys, as you're a lighting designer and have plotting constrictions, they can vary just a little bit. But the basic idea is there. Side light, top light, backlight, all that kind of stuff. So that is, I just want to show you guys some pictures real quick. We'll talk about movement next time, but let me just show you some pictures of some side light and stuff real quick. Just a few. And then we'll call it a day. So, kind of looking at some photos here. This would be what? Backlight. And we kind of talked about this a little bit in some of the photos, how the silhouette, there was kind of a silhouette, but you can see how she's got a rim of light. In film and television, they'll call this rim light because you get that edge of light around the figure. How about this one? Front light, because we can see her face nice and clear, right? high side light there, right? Because we're kind of getting one eye and not the other. So if you were doing something that's more chiaroscuro or noir, this would be a great angle, right? You have kind of one side but not the other. It gets a little more mysterious. Side light there kind of pulls out one side in particular, even more so. That's side light as well. Maybe a little more to the back than the last one.
Top lights.
Yeah, top light. You can kind of see her head really well, right? The highlight's right up here at the top. And then we're back to the backlighting again. You see how like once you kind of have a sense of it, you can really pick it out. So that's kind of what I want you guys to have an idea of, and you'll use that a lot when you go to the projects, because you'll say, oh, I want this like backlight, or I want something that kind of lights one side but not the other. So keep these angles in mind as you approach your projects. All right, I will see you guys on Thursday.